Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of Think Business. Looking forward to talking with Nathan Strum, CEO, co-founder of Abby Connects. I've been looking forward to talking with you. I think this is a great topic. Your company for the past 20 years have been helping small businesses make first impressions with professional friendly receptionists, where you have live and now AI. I always believe that the receptionist is usually one of the most important people in an office. You can, anyway, let's just start there, right? So it's the very first impression. If somebody calls in, the brand of the company. Just tell me a little bit about how, when people outsource that, that still kind of, is in flow.
Yeah, thank you for that introduction and
Thanks for being here
and explaining that. I'm happy to be on your show. We started the business 20 years ago, and in our space there was a lot of cost cutting answering services. Think of your old doctor's answering service where they paged the doctor. I don't know if everybody remembers what a pager
is. I do. I know. Yeah.
But where they paged the doctor and you really couldn't do much and they didn't know anything about it. And what we found was a niche of small businesses that wanted to outsource the receptionist, but wanted to provide a better customer experience. Because as you said, receptionist over the phone or in person is the first impression that a lot of people get. So it's extremely critical. And the way that we were able to ensure that we provided that great customer service is one single magic bullet, and it's all about culture.
Yeah. And so what is the magic bullet? How do you train your people to really be that inviting voice that, people get a vibe where they don't feel like they're just calling some, random, company that they need, like when you call the cable company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like so frustrating when you have to call the cable company. That is a frustrating flow of voicemails.
It is, or people overseas that, might not be able to help you. To answer your question, there is no training that can train you to come across over the phone with great customer service. It's culture. It's providing that culture. It's providing that environment where people feel like they're heard, they feel appreciated, and they have a great place to come in and enjoy work.
Yeah, yeah. And so what type of companies are you seeing get virtual receptionists? I remember pre-COVID, I would talk about this with clients. I'm a business coach. And people were very, there was a lot of people, a large majority were against having a virtual receptionist.
Mm-hmm.
COVID, I think, changed the game. And so tell me a little bit about your business pre and post COVID.
Sure. We did see a shift after COVID. We did see a shift of not only businesses that were moving out of the office that needed help unifying their communication. I think that was a big source of increased revenue for us. But it did open up people's mindsets to working remotely. And once you're open to working remotely, you're open to outsourcing. And once you're open to outsourcing, receptionist service over the phones is a great place to start. So we did see a shift after COVID. And we are seeing, that continue with AI and automation.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking at the next thing.
When somebody uses your company, the reception, how do they train the specific receptionist that they get from you? Is it somebody is it one person that they get? Is it multiple people? And then why would someone choose a human being over AI?
Yeah, great questions. So you're hitting on one of our key differentiators. We have small teams. So instead of having 100 people answer your phones, they never get to know you. They never get to know your callers. It could be a different person to answer your phone every single day of the week. We assign a small team, usually around 10 receptionists, depending on what your hours are. If you're 24/7, obviously you're going to have more receptionists. but they get to know your callers. They get to know your company. When they answer that phone and somebody asks them where your office is, you may be in Detroit, we may be in Las Vegas, but since we've answered that question over and over, we sound as if we're sitting in there in your office with you, somebody that you've trained and that you feel comfortable answering your phones.
Yeah, it's great. Talk to me about AI. I'd like to know kind of statistically, if you have any data, the people who are, maybe choosing AI or moving from human to AI, how customers are receiving that. Is it favorable? Is it frustrating? Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. One of my favorite use cases is, we started about a year ago with our beta program. We launched officially June of last year, so about 6 months now. But while we were in beta, we went to one of our attorney clients who we've been answering for years on the human side. She wanted to save money. She's an attorney, and she wanted us to answer even more hours and also save money. So we went to her and we introduced this idea of AI receptionist, at least answering after hours. She specializes in elderly law. So if you can imagine, if there's any market out there that you would be prejudging that would respond well, it's this.
Yeah.
And we went to her and she was very resistant, and we used a love language of small business, and that's free. So we told her it was free because we wanted to test this. Fast forward to today, she's one of our biggest advocates.
Mm-hmm.
Callers love it. They communicate with the AI like it's a person. They know it's not,
right?
But they're not frustrated. They're not saying, overly saying, I want to speak to a human more than other demographics do.
Right.
It's been really, really inspiring, really a great use case to see. As far as your question on data goes, we did a study of 500,000 calls. Some calls answered by a human, some calls answered by AI. And what we found was the number of words used to escalate a call, whether it was human or AI, was about the same.
Interesting.
So people aren't asking for humans any more than they're asking for supervisors when they're talking to a human.
That's so interesting. And are you able to track kind of that initial feeling of angst to kind of, it becoming a normal way of just daily business?
Yeah. So one of our key differentiators on the AI side is that if there's any frustration on the call, if there's any where the AI can't understand you because of your accent, maybe you've had to say your name 3 times, we transfer that call over immediately to one of our human receptionists, and we take that call for free. And so what we're seeing is it started out being about a 30% of calls are failed over to a human. We're slowly seeing that drop. So we're at about 27% now, and we're trying to get to 25% within the next 6 months.
So I have a question that always frustrates me. A lot of times when I'm talking to an AI, anybody, when I'm calling a company and it's AI, and they're asking me a question that I know the answer to before they're done with the question. And so I answer it kind of like 60% in, right? And before they're done with the sentence, but it feels like it doesn't pick up. So then I have to repeat myself. And then for some reason, I always find that it asks me the question again. What does somebody, and I don't think I'm alone in that. And so where is the technology going with that? And when do you answer a question when you're talking to an AI person?
We've solved that.
Oh, okay, good.
We've solved
it. Because it's like I don't mind when I call a company and it's an AI person and you can talk to it, but there is that kind of like bubble that doesn't make sense. Yeah.
And in fact, I think our AI is better than a human at retaining information if you give the information at the wrong point in the call,
right?
Because we have to rely on our memory as humans.
Sure. So how have you solved that?
through technology, through innovating. But the key is that we took our 20 years of history of knowing how to answer phones, and we led with that. We didn't lead with technology. We led with what we know callers want in order to feel heard, in order to feel good over the phones. And so we weren't going to go, that very problem that you're bringing up is something that we focused on. And I told the developers we would not go to market unless that was solved.
It's great. So tell me, what do callers want? I mean, you have great history of doing this for a long, long time before, this type of technology was available. I mean, you were able to, it sounds like, take the old school, lead with that. And so what were some of those things?
Well, number one is they want to feel heard. And number two, they want to at least walk away with the feeling that their issue is going to be resolved. So whatever they've called in for, if they leave with the feeling that that's going to be resolved, then it's a good call for them overall. We can't do everything on the call for them sometimes. Sometimes we can. Sometimes we can solve their issue. But we're focused on making them feel as if they're valued and that they're heard.
Talk to the Think community about costs. I don't want you to give costs because somebody may listen to this in 2 years, and I don't want you in a position where you have to honor that. But just the differential of, what it costs for a human versus AI, and why make the investment.
Well, our human receptionist is, compared to hiring your own, is a massive savings. I mean, it's probably 1/10 of the investment of hiring. But the AI receptionist is half of our human receptionist service.
Yeah.
So you're even saving more money.
Yeah. And today, I think it's, Think community, we talk a lot about, I'm a big fan of a human receptionist at an office. I'm a big fan of that because I think it sets the tone. I think they're a really important person inside the office. They're kind of like the person who knows everything. Everybody talks to them. They're really, really important. But in today's world, that's not realistic, and that's not happening. And the receptionist is, I really believe, such an important voice, whether it is somebody, like, I agree with you, feeling heard and appreciated and feeling like that instant connection. And so there are a lot of companies who are doing it virtually. What is that percentage today from your perspective? What percentage have people in the office versus moving more towards the virtual world?
Well, I don't know if this answers the question, but we have a lot of clients that have an in-house receptionist working the front desk, and they use our service.
Mm-hmm. No, that's gonna be my next question. Yeah, tell me.
Right. And how frustrating is that when you walk in and the receptionist is on the phone, or the front desk person is on the phone? That can easily be solved with a service like ours.
Yeah.
But I would say, to answer your original question, I would say about 3/4 of our clients are all virtual, and about 1/4 have in-office staff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we'll see more and more of that. Less of the old school. And when somebody hires you, what's the onboarding process?
Simple. It's simple. It's everything is made to grow incrementally, so that you can get started right away. And we are a service-based company first and foremost. So we spend the time onboarding in a very personalized way. We have onboarding specialists that will help you set things up. And we have an online portal where you can set things up. We offer a free trial at abby.com for the AI receptionist. And so you can set up a 14-day free trial at any moment.
It's great. It's great. And talk about a little bit about, somebody's starting out their business, right? So you work with small businesses today, and there's a lot of studies that point to, multi-million, if not, billion-dollar businesses started by people, companies that have less than 10 people. Those are typically going to be virtual, and those are typically going to be people who may be considered quote unquote a small business, but are doing huge volume and making a huge impact. when do they bring you in? When do people start bringing you in? Because today I think you can start a business overnight, and with services like yours, and with so many other technologies that we could talk about for hours, you give the impression, no matter how small you are, that you're a global company. And so, when should somebody pick up the phone and call you?
Before they buy a mobile phone. It's that important.
Yeah, yeah,
Your first call, it could be from Sam Altman, right?
yeah,
It could be from that most important caller. You have to have that impression from the very beginning.
yeah.
And a couple $100 a month, it's really a no-brainer.
Yeah. Well, when you look at what a client is worth and the lifetime value and the impression that, Think Community, we've talked about this before. You have about 7 seconds to make a first impression. It's really, really important to have that welcome really kind of kick things off. I think it's great. All right, a couple questions for you. Your business is 20 years old. You're an entrepreneur. You started this business 20 plus years ago. What got you into this space?
This was a family business started. So my family recruited me, and I
Okay.
fell in love with the business. We started as a executive suite company,
Okay.
and we were answering phones for clients in the building, and realized there was a bigger market for clients outside of our building.
That's great. That's great. And what's one thing that you've learned from, the family brought you in, but what's one thing that, you learned from your family that you still carry with you today?
Oh, just one thing.
Yeah. The number one thing.
Number, gosh, one lesson that was hard to learn, especially coming from a family business. They've since stepped away, and I'm uh, without the family and the business. Is at every turn in this company, we've had to remake ourselves.
Hmm.
They completely throw out the rule book. And, we started with 4 people, and at 10, our communication broke down. We had to throw out the rule book. And at 50, our HR systems broke down, and we had to
Yeah.
throw out the rule book. And at 100 employees, we lost, some of the systems to be able to scale. And so we're throwing out the rule book. And it's like remaking yourself at every point.
It's great. It's great. All right, let's do a quick speed round. Book that's had a big impact.
Oh gosh. There was what was the name of this book? The E-Myth.
Yeah,
That's
Emith is
like,
great. That's a great book. That should be mandatory reading for every business, every small business for sure. Yeah, I love that book. Yeah. Best piece of wisdom you've ever received.
progress over perfection.
Amen. Last question. Finish this sentence. One thing everybody needs to know about virtual receptionists is.
That the term virtual is not necessarily the best term. We've been branded on it. These are humans, and they can provide a better human connection than you in your office, because that's what they do all day long.
Yeah, I agree with you. The word, yeah, that's needs a new word. I agree with you. That's a good, yeah. Tell everybody Nathan, who your ideal clients are and where they can connect with you.
Any small business owner that uses the phone to attract new clients, or have anybody call their business, and they can reach us at abby.com. Again, we offer a free 14-day trial, and you can get started within minutes.
It's great. I appreciate you taking time to be on the show, Nathan. Think Community, we talk a lot about first impressions. We talk a lot about, looking at our P&L and where revenue is coming from, and profitability and expenses, and where we can cut expenses and invest in our businesses. This is a great way to do things that make a big impact, can potentially cut expenses. It's an investment in your business. It's an investment in making somebody feel heard, which is what you talked about, Nathan. The second they pick up the phone, I think it's great. Keep doing great things. I'm excited to hear how the AI takes off. versus everything else. Sorry about that. So thanks for being on the show. Think community, if Nathan can help you, please reach out. If I can reach you, please reach me at johndwaskin.com. Nathan, thanks so much.
Thank you.